In a quiet corner of a crowded Filipino neighborhood, where narrow streets buzz with tricycles and laughter, a 12-year-old boy practices alone inside a small wooden house. The room is barely big enough to stretch his arms, but it is big enough to hold his dreams. A cracked mirror hangs on the wall, reflecting a skinny boy in worn sneakers and a borrowed fedora, trying again and again to perfect a single step. On an old, scratched phone balanced against a plastic chair, Michael Jackson's music plays softly. The boy watches every move with intense focus, the smooth glide of the moonwalk, the sharp snap of the spins, the dramatic pause before the final pose. He rewinds the video over and over, copying each detail until his feet ache and sweat drips onto the floor. When he stumbles, he smiles, wipes his face, and starts again. Outside, neighbors pause to watch through the open window. Some whisper in amazement, others clap quietly, afraid to break his concentration. His parents stand nearby, worry etched on their faces. Money is tight, and dreams often feel like luxuries they cannot afford. Yet every night, they allow the music to play, because they see something special in their son's eyes, determination stronger than doubt. The boy remembers the first time he saw Michael Jackson dance on a small television at a neighbor's house. In that moment, something ignited inside him. Since then, dance has become his escape from hardship and his language of hope. He imagines himself on a giant stage, lights shining, crowd cheering, not for fame, but for the chance to prove that a poor boy from the Philippines can make the world stop and watch. The moment finally arrives. Standing backstage at America's Got Talent, the 12-year-old Filipino boy feels his heart pounding louder than the cheers echoing from the theater. The hallway buzzes with energy, contestants stretching, producers rushing past, cameras rolling. He grips the brim of his fedora tightly, reminding himself to breathe. Thousands of miles away from home, he feels small, but ready. A stage assistant gently taps his shoulder. "You're next." He nods, swallowing his fear. As he walks onto the massive AGT stage, the bright lights hit his eyes like a wave. The audience comes into view, rows and rows of strangers watching his every step. A few murmurs ripple through the crowd when they see how young he is. He takes his place at center stage, feet slightly trembling. Simon Cowell leans forward, curious but skeptical. "What's your name?" The boy answers softly, his accent noticeable but proud. When asked what he will do, he takes a deep breath and says, "I will dance, like Michael Jackson." A few audience members chuckle. One judge raises an eyebrow. The pressure builds. This is the moment that could change his life, or end his dream. The music hasn't started yet, but the boy closes his eyes. Suddenly, he's no longer on the biggest stage in America. He's back home, in his small room, cracked mirror in front of him, neighbors watching through the window. The fear fades. Confidence replaces it. The opening beat hits. His eyes snap open. His body shifts. The shy boy disappears, and something powerful takes over. The crowd leans in. The judges sit up straighter. With the first sharp move, everyone realizes this is no ordinary performance. The first beat pulses through the theater, and in that instant, the boy changes. His shoulders snap with confidence, his feet glide effortlessly across the stage. The moonwalk, smooth, clean, and impossible to ignore, draws an audible gasp from the audience. What moments ago felt like a child's dream now looks like a professional performance. Every move is sharp, precise, and full of attitude. He spins on his heel, lands perfectly, and strikes a classic Michael Jackson pose. The crowd erupts. Phones shoot into the air as people scramble to capture the moment. Judges exchange stunned glances, disbelief written across their faces. Simon Cowell's skepticism fades. He leans forward, eyes locked on the stage. "He's got it," someone whispers. The boy's timing is flawless, his rhythm natural, as if the music is part of his heartbeat. He doesn't rush. He feels every beat, every pause, every dramatic freeze. The boy adds his own spark, small details that make the performance fresh and alive. A playful glance toward the judges. A sudden stop that sends chills through the room. Then comes the toe stand, the footwork lightning fast, his balance perfect. The audience rises to its feet, clapping in rhythm, completely swept away. Sweat glistens on his forehead, but he doesn't break character. His confidence grows with every cheer. This is no longer an audition, it's a tribute, a celebration, and a declaration. He isn't just copying Michael Jackson, he's honoring him with heart and respect. As the music reaches its peak, the boy builds toward the finale. One final spin. A dramatic freeze. Silence for a split second, then an explosion of applause that shakes the theater. In that moment, everyone knows they are witnessing something special. The final pose hangs in the air like magic. For a brief second, the entire theater is silent, then the crowd erupts. Cheers thunder through the room, louder than anything the boy has ever heard. He stands frozen, chest rising and falling, unsure if what just happened is real. The judges are on their feet. Howie claps with a wide grin. Sophia wipes away tears, shaking her head in disbelief. All eyes turn to Simon Cowell. Known for his tough words and rare praise, Simon rises slowly, applauding with a serious expression that soon turns into a smile. Simon steps closer to the microphone. I've seen thousands of dancers, he says, his voice calm but emotional. But what you just did, that wasn't an imitation. That was a performance with soul. The boy's hands begin to tremble. His eyes fill with tears. Simon pauses, letting the moment breathe. You came here from so far away, and at 12 years old, you owned this stage. You reminded us why we love entertainment. Then Simon turns toward the judges' table. The audience senses something big. The music swells. Simon reaches out and presses the button. Boom. The golden buzzer slams down, and the theater explodes. Gold confetti rains from above, covering the stage in shimmering light. The boy drops to his knees, crying openly now, overwhelmed by joy and disbelief. He presses his hands to his face as the crowd chants and screams. Backstage, his family collapses into tears, hugging each other tightly. For the boy, this is more than a win. It's proof that his dream, born in a tiny Filipino home, has reached the world's biggest stage. Golden confetti continues to fall as the boy slowly rises to his feet, his face wet with tears and shining with disbelief. He looks around the massive theater, trying to take it all in, the standing audience, the roaring cheers, the judges smiling proudly. Just moments ago, he was a nervous child walking onto the stage. Now, he feels like he's floating. Simon steps forward and places a hand over his heart, nodding at the boy with genuine respect. Remember this moment, he says. You earned it. The words echo deeply, sealing the memory forever. Backstage, his parents rush toward the monitors, crying and laughing at the same time. They remember the late nights, the cracked mirror, the old phone playing the same song on repeat. Every sacrifice suddenly feels worth it. Their son's dream is no longer just theirs, it belongs to the world. As the lights dim and the confetti settles, the boy takes one last look at the audience and bows. He knows this is only the beginning. Interviews, rehearsals, and global attention await him, but for now, he holds on to this feeling, the moment his life changed. News clips spread across social media within hours. Filipino MJ prodigy shocks AGT, headlines read. Messages pour in from fans across the globe, especially from children who see themselves in his story. He becomes a symbol of hope, proof that talent can rise from the humblest places. That night, alone in his dressing room, he removes his fedora and smiles at his reflection. He whispers the same word he once said in front of a cracked mirror back home. Today,